not that one either. There we are. Look at that. Welcome to REALMigos. Ian of Austin will be on in just a moment. He's actually in the other room. Him and I are in Vegas. Welcome to REALMigos. We got the Mullet Man. Welcome back, my friend.
Yo.
What's up? And then everyone's favorite of all time, Amanda Rickman, out of the beautiful city of Kyle, Texas. Welcome to the show.
Awesome. Yes, I'm glad to be here.
And this time she has headphones, and this time she knows what SpaceX is. So we're good to go.
Trust me, everybody's happy for her to be here. Every time we have a guest on, they're like, oh, it's not Amanda.
Y'all, and it's been an eventful day. I have a sick horse, and then it got trapped in a fence. Meanwhile, down in Kyle,
Oh, Texas things.
Yeah. Texas things.
Let's add Ian. Ian, tell us where you're coming in from, my friend. I don't hear you, dude.
Hi, bro.
No. What up? All right. Can we talk about rates tonight? We can. We sure can. Hi, Ian. Welcome back.
Hi. Can you hear me now?
Is it the wine realtor? Amanda, do you have any wine with you tonight?
I do, and I have ice. I have ice in my red wine because I'm classy.
It's a Texas thing, y'all. Me being in Vegas, I'm doing the mini shooters. It's $38 for one of these, so I'm excited.
It is not.
No, I don't know. Like, I have not even touched that little mini bar, the Mandalay Bay. But all right, so So Ian's going to jump back on in a second. So we're going to talk about suburbs tonight. Obviously, we're going to look at suburbs as far as like where we think, the highest and best guess we can say of what those suburbs are going to do. So we're all going to pick a little bit different area. And we're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff. Dinosaur D takes his comment back. I don't know what that comment was, but Ian's gets set up. So let's start with first off, what's going on in the market? What are y'all seeing in the market? We're the third weekend going into the last week of July or January. So where are you seeing things right now?
Ladies first.
So loud. Yeah, ladies first.
I've kind of seen it. I mean, it's definitely still a seller's market, but what I've been seeing is like I put on a couple of homes in December and
It's not the wine lady. I love it.
That's me. But I still had 15 offers on one, and I think we had 8 offers on the other. And I think it's just still crazy. It's not like the prices aren't spiking as high, but it's still, it's definitely still a seller's market. That's what I've been seeing.
What do you
And
what do
so
you think
I
you're-
don't,
oh,
I
go
think
ahead.
it'll kind of try to level, or it'll start to level off a little bit, but it'll still gradually go up. I don't think we're going to see the spikes that we did last year because it was just nuts and people can't afford those prices.
Right.
You keep kicking Ian out?
No, he's kicking himself off.
Oh, really? I thought you were messing with him.
No. He's got issues in the living room over there.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
It's funny because I can kind of. Oh, there we go. I can kind of hear him through the wall,
Better.
which is funny. There you go. Most requested guest award. So, welcome back from the farm. And you literally said you had a horse in a fence this morning or this afternoon.
Y'all, I did have a horse in a fence,
A
but I
horse
actually
in a
got this horse from a listing that I had because it was being mistreated. So,
Aw,
yeah, but
that sucks.
the owner of the property didn't own the horse. Somebody else did. And I was like, well, either I'm turning you into animal cruelty, whatever it is, and or give me the horse. And now I have a horse. And now I'm like, oh, shit, what do I do with a horse?
Yeah, you asked for it.
Yeah.
Hopefully you don't get stuck in the fence.
Ugh.
Too late.
Ian is bad with computers. Oh, poor Ian. We actually sat today. And listened to Slade talk about NFTs and all that fun stuff. So we'll have to talk about what we're doing with our second channel there, potentially second channel. Let's see. But okay, so Kevin, we were talking about what we're seeing in the market. What do you see in week 3?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I just ate Golden Grams and Cinnamon Toast Crunch back to back. And after many years of my life, I am actually now know that Golden Grams is better.
Yeah.
So I'm just going on the record to say that Golden Grams is better than Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And I apologize for anyone in my previous conversations that I maybe lambasted or made fun of for thinking the opposite. So empirically correct.
I'm going to have to try that.
Yes. That's the only way to properly know. Anyways, so, I've written, I think I said last week, I don't remember what the number was. I don't know. I'm something like 20 offers in January right now. And have gotten 2-3 contracts, which I don't think is bad. I mean, that's on pace for what I did last year. The biggest problem I'm having right now is that I'm actually convincing my clients not to go to a certain level. Like, I know what it takes to get the house, or I think I have an idea of what it's going to take to get the house. And in some cases, I'm like, guys, no, I mean, this is not a good idea at this moment. I mean, you can do whatever you want to. Ian and I call it absorbing equity. Like, you can absorb as much equity as you want. I think it will be worth something like that for sure. But I actually did have to put a appraisal stopgap on this last contract I did, and then wrote a couple cash offers over the weekend for some properties. One was listed appropriately, and it still went $100,000 over ask with multiple offers. And then the other one has been listed on the market for a while, is already listed $100,000 more than what it's justifiably worth. So we wrote an offer. We wrote 4 offers for less than what it was asked for, but more than what it's justifiably worth. And the seller turned down all 4 offers without counter. So that's what I'm dealing with right now.
Yeah.
I posted on my Instagram a picture. One of my lender friends, something we've had on the channel, Aaron Kovac posted a thing. A house listed at $750. His buyer wrote for like $950. So $750 to $950, and it sold at $205 over, so $955. And on top of that, there was 65 offers.
What neighborhood was that?
He didn't say.
I'll bet it was Circle C.
Holy moly!
I bet I know what house it was too.
Dang.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's crazy.
Ian's in Vegas having fun. Ian, what's your thought on the market right now?
Vegas, I think it's pretty hot, man. There's a lot going on here, right?
The real estate market.
Yeah, the real estate market. So we've talked about it multiple times, over and over, right? Like there's just I hear Tom on stage, the guy we're here to watch on stage, talking about no inventory. There's no excuses, right? Like, but there really is no inventory. We're still having that situation where you put in offers, or by the time people are getting ready for offers, they're missing out. So I'm still seeing that pretty frequently.
And pretty much everybody in Texas has Rona or getting over it, right?
Yep. I think me and you had it at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tested negative. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I haven't had it yet. Problem is, I'm here with this guy, and he's ultra contagious. He's like Rona fertile. He's Omicron fertile.
No, not today. I should do one of those reels where it's like, if you fall asleep, I'm going to punch you in the face. One of those reels with you. That'd be funny.
I haven't seen that one. Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm seeing craziness in the market again already. I think you compare us to early 2021, they were at 0.4 month inventory back then. We're probably around the same 0.4. So all the craziness we saw at the beginning of the year, I think has already just started. So
it's definitely going. Yeah.
If you're selling, I'd get your home on the market soon.
Yeah, I mean,
right now it's time to do it.
Well, and I think that's the question. The question is, do you want to go up against 300 other people that have the same idea and wait until it's hot like it used to be, or try to get ahead of that curve?
Yep.
I mean, we've looked at. I'm still looking at houses with some of my clients. And they purchased investment properties and they bought last year too. And now houses that we looked at even in the peak of last year look like screaming deals for some neighborhoods. Like we looked at houses last year where like 6 months before we put an offer on this house, it would have been worth like 550, 600 max. They listed for like 750 and ended up selling for like 850 or 9. And they're like, no, that's crazy. And now that same neighborhood, a similar house listed today was listed for 1.2 million. So, I think it's really depending on the neighborhoods. In fact, what I would guess is probably going to happen last year, which was like last year, a lot of the suburbs like 78739, saw a huge increase in price, or a lot of these other suburban neighborhoods close to Austin saw a huge spike in price because I believe that they were already undervalued. So it kind of showed that, but it always happens. It's like a heartbeat or like a reverse, like ripple approach, a reverse butterfly effect. Whenever the prices of the suburbs start to get too high, then people are willing to pay more, but then to be closer to the epicenter of the city. And I think we're going to be back in that contraction where people are going to be now willing to pay more to be in neighborhoods like 04, 59, 03, 41, stuff like that. Like traditionally hip Austin neighborhoods. So that's my estimate.
What did you say was driving that?
What's driving that?
Yeah.
When suburban prices get too high relative for what you can buy. Yeah. So obviously situs, right? The location of the property is the most important factor for everyone.
It was on this channel a couple months back. We talked about how it was Cedar Park Leander had hit higher median price point than Austin proper.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then neighborhoods like, Barton Hills and Zilker didn't see the same appreciation, and like Terrytown didn't see the same appreciation numbers that a lot of these other places saw because they were already high value neighborhoods. So now those potentially will be even more popular. I understand the price point's a little bit different, but people are willing to get less, but to be closer to the city at that point. So
Yeah.
that's going to be the story for 22, if you ask me. Jeremy, mute.
So this is kind of saying a little bit of the opposite, though. If you look at prices, this is from Key Title. I put this on my community page, but all the prices that are rising the fastest are outside the city.
Yeah, that was previous, though.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
so you
saying.
think you think people are going to move back in to closer to downtown?
Well, because it's the difference between the price it was and the price that it is now, or was when this data came out. So like those properties spiked so much because they were undervalued relative to how expensive it was to live downtown. And so if you're looking downtown, you're not willing to pay that price to get so little, especially if you're coming from the Bay Area or something, which a lot of clients are. You look at that and you're like, I can be 10 minutes away. Like Circle C is literally like 12 minutes from downtown. And you're like, I can get a 4,000 square foot house on a third of an acre for $1 million. Sure, sign me up. So when all those sell, then people are starting to reevaluate and look at those traditional neighborhoods again.
Yep. Interesting. All right. So the whole purpose today was talking about the suburbs that we think that are going to be the suburbs to really look at and buy in kind of for 2022. I'll let Amanda start because Amanda, I'm pretty sure since she lives in Kyle, is going to pick Kyle. And I've said on this channel several times that Kyle is the most underrated city to look at. So let's Circle C jerk.
It's true. So
yeah,
Kyle has a lot of new neighborhoods going in. In fact, some of them I didn't even really know about. So when I was looking, but I would say a big one that is going to be really popular is going to be Six Creeks, just because. So Cypress Forest is right down from Six Creeks, and it's kind of Cypress Forest was the move up neighborhood for Kyle. And whenever they first opened, it was like, oh my goodness, nobody's going to buy at those prices in Kyle. And then Six Creeks opened, which is actually in a PID and has higher taxes than Cypress Forest, but they're going to have a lot more amenities and it's just going to be a bigger neighborhood. So Six Creeks is going to be good. It has Coventry, Highland Homes, Perry, I think MI is going to be is in there, and then Taylor Morrison. But and each of them have like a lower, like different what do you call them? Help. Like a lower, not quality, and a higher quality. I don't know, but I don't know. But then, and also Anthem. Anthem is going in Kyle, and it's going to be a big one too. It's kind of like Six Creeks, and it is in a mud, and it's developing probably as we speak. But it's
yeah,
just
it's like
down the road for me.
I talked about it in a video recently. It's like 3% tax though. So if you're buying a $650,000 house, and there you might get a cool house, but 3% tax, you can buy an older house down the street, Arrowhead Ranch or something like that.
Yeah.
For
Arroyo Ranch.
Arroyo Ranch. Yeah, that one we did deal together over there. Arroyo Ranch. Yeah.
Yes.
So, my bad.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. That was a doozy. But yeah,
when we had to go back to the sconces. Yeah.
Yeah, I was digging through their storage unit at like midnight trying to get these sconces. But
yeah, that was fun. Sorry.
Yeah. Thanks for that. But yeah, Anthem
speaking of, sorry to interrupt. You had put up a story about kind of like worst stories in real estate not too long ago. That was really good. You should tell that story on here.
Oh, okay. Right now?
No, not right now. But remind me somebody in the chat.
Okay.
No, sorry. Lord. Go ahead. So it just hit me. That's sorry. Anyway, so besides Anthem, what else is going in there, and Kyle?
We've got Plum Creek. Lennar is building some houses in Plum Creek. It's a new section, and it's kind of like they have a single story and 2-story, but a lot of 2-story, and it's a big solar panel neighborhood. I think they have one up in Leander too. It's the same floor plans and everything, but I think that'll be popular because it's kind of on the lower end, and it's in a good location.
What are the prices going to be in there?
In there, they're starting at 360s.
That's not bad.
And I think they go up to, well, and it's crazy because I had a guy that we finally got him under contract, and we got him under contract in there, and he was doing VA, and we got him in at like 320 something, and then he got put on the mission down by the border, and he decided that he didn't want to buy. And I was like, are you sure? Because like when you come back, things are going to be so much higher. And he's like, yeah, I'm sure. I don't think I want to be in there. But yeah, it's 360s, and they go up to the mid 4s, I'm pretty sure. But that'll be I think it's going to be popular just because the area, but and the price point. But yeah. And then if you like, really all of the neighborhoods are starting in the 3s in Kyle. And then if you want anything in the 2s, you're going to have to go out to Maxwell, which is just east of the highway. And I think it's High Meadows. It starts like in the 270s.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad.
No.
But
and
they're not selling to investors,
Waterloo.
right? And really?
Huh?
What about Waterloo?
That's the builder?
That's the builder.
Mm-hmm. So Braun is the Lexus, and Waterloo is the Toyota, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick, thanks, Princess, for the sticker. Appreciate you. This was a funny one. Good job, Master Jedi. Anyway, so Ian, I'm sure you're not going to go as far south as Kyle as your city of choice. Why don't you tell us what your city of choice for 2022 is? Or suburbs. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I might get a little hate for this, but it makes sense, right? I'm not going to go as far southeast as Bastrop, but I am going to say the Del Valley area is picking up a ton of steam, right? So we have a few different, there were Tiarmo and Forest Bluff and a bunch of neighborhoods that were sub 300 2 years ago, right? Now those houses are closing in the, high 3s, mid 4s. That's your starting price. But ever since people realized that the Tesla factory isn't coming, but it's already here, then they've started buying up more homes and building investments. And I don't know if you know, but there's a lot of land, and that's close to where Easton Park is. So we've talked about that a lot on this channel, your channel, my channel. Amanda, you probably talked about it. Everybody talks about it. And Easton Park just announced 12,000 more homes. What's interesting about that, though, is that it's over 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh.
My friend has that 250 acres over there right behind Easton Park. Yeah. And they're starting the process. Yeah. Well, they're starting the process of turning that into multi-use or commercial up front and multifamily and family all behind there. So because there's the problem with Easton Park, there's nothing over there. There's no shops, there's nothing. So they're going to put in some stuff there. It's cool.
They're adding a lot of that. So yeah, I see multifamily. There's another company called Mirador. I don't know anything about the particular company. Maybe that's just the developer, right? But they're going to have in Yian Homes, Lennar Homes, and another 2,500 homes. So 2,500 homes on top of 12,000 more homes, on top of what they were already slated to finish out in surrounding neighborhoods. And that's just getting started. They haven't even developed all that land yet. It's going to be ridiculous. Somebody had asked in the chat about the tax rates. Are tax rates going up in the area? So here's a thing to know. most of the time, not all the time, most of the time, if there is a newly developed community in an area that was underdeveloped, your tax rate is going to be higher most of the time. So be really careful with that. So when you're looking at Easton Park, beautiful as it is, your tax rate, if you're getting into a newer phase, will probably be 3%, or 3.1, or however they write it, right? But like around 3% of the sales price of the home annually, right? And then if you buy in an older phase, like a resale home, that tax rate may be a little bit lower. Instead of being 3%, because it's been 5 years, it might be 2.8%. I don't know if that's over anybody's head, but ask questions about it in the comments.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's the tough part about, especially if you're buying a lot of the Kyle areas, Del Valley, even Leander,
Well,
pretty much everywhere that's, like you said, that's on the outside. You're talking about 3% tax rate. That's so high. So,
Yeah.
Well, and the other benefit of Del Valley is it's obviously next to the airport. So not just Tesla, next to the airport, but also you have access to 130, which will take you north and south a little bit faster if you need to fly on the highway. So it doesn't take as long as you would assume to get from that area up to like a Leander, right? Even though it looks really far, it only takes maybe 45 minutes.
Yeah.
In regular traffic.
Right.
But on a highway where there's no speed limits, it doesn't matter. Or nobody pays attention to the speed limits,
right? Exactly. What's interesting about Kyle too. So you're gonna have a plastics company coming in. They're bringing like 300 jobs. So that's to facilitate the Tesla plant. But you're gonna have a lot of people moving to Kyle and the Southeast, where Ian's talking about, because they want to be close to Tesla. They're going to be working for some city area that's going to be doing some support for Tesla. So yeah, both of these areas, Kyle, Buda, Southeast Austin, I think those are all fantastic options. And I think if you're looking at just the price appreciation, I think, yeah, those areas you're going to see just price appreciation. They're going to be high, like high gains.
There's
all right, Kevin, you're up.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I'm up.
Oh, I was just going to say that there's another neighborhood going in East Buda that's kind of closer to the Tesla factory or plant or whatever you want to call it, called Turner's Crossing. And I think it's Tri-Point and who else was in there?
Tri-Point is the one in Whisper Valley, right?
And San Marcos?
No, Whisper Valley East.
Near
Tesla. Maynard.
Oh, I don't know.
Maynard.
Oh, I don't know.
So Tri-Point,
out of my area.
They just bought somebody. That's what it was. It wasn't actually Tri-Point.
Yeah, it was
Trendmaker. Trendmaker, there you go. So it was Trend, and they rebranded because nobody liked them. Don't tell them I said that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm missing comments over here. Sorry. Go ahead.
Good.
My
friends, he's tying his mullet in a bow. Fixing up real nice for us.
I'm about ready to shave it off. I'm not gonna lie.
Then don't lie.
Bro, I'm so tired. Not tired of it. It's just like I can't find anybody to properly layer it. Now it just looks like a rat tail. So
okay, what is the definition of a first world problem? Help me out here. I want to be sure I understand.
Listen, is it too much for me to ask that my hairdresser can properly layer a mullet?
I mean,
is that too much to ask for a completely unpopular hairstyle?
What do the women do when it's like one color and then it layers and then it's a different color? Is that in? Could you do that with your mullet? It's not ombre. Is it ombre?
Can you imagine my Camaro cut ancestors in the early 90s walking into a barber and a cigarette hanging out of their mouth, PBR in the other hand?
Listen,
hey, can you layer my mullet? It's looking a little flat. He'd get punched in the face. Get the hell out of here. Go sit in a
you get a back to the kneecap for that. Yeah.
My aunt used to, back in the day, she used to go to get her hair done in one of those places where they still had the thing. You know what I mean? Like she'd sit down in the chair and they'd put the little space pod over her head to dry it. And then she'd leave with her hair looking.
That's just a precursor to the Oculus, right? Like they were in their own little world.
They were in their own little world. Yeah. And her haircut was still in 1965 for sure. And that was in the early 90s. Anyways, I digress.
So before you answer, this is a good question. Is the multiple offer going over list price frenzy happening again?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not as like last year it was fish in a barrel. You could walk up to any deal and we all were well versed. We're like, boom, this thing's going for $100,000 over ask. We need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do this. Now it's not, for me, it hasn't been as clear. I'm kind of like, and agents are being a-holes, honestly. Yeah. The listing agent's like, I don't care. I don't know. Just put something in. They keep saying the same thing.
Early in the year, they'd rather be doing nothing else.
Yeah, put your best foot forward and my seller will choose to offer. I'm like, no shit. Like, I never thought that I would bring the best foot forward to try to get this house. Now, please tell me.
So I was going to say, so all of you, I mean, we all do a fair amount of production. Is your favorite agent the agent that says to you, this is about where we're at, either beat it or don't waste your time? Like, either match that, do better, or don't waste your time. Like, don't you like that?
Why aren't we doing that anyway for our sellers?
I don't. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So all the agents watching, don't mess with us. Don't mess with us.
If I got an offer for $500,000 and I've got 15 offers, I'm going to be like, hey, number two, guess what? We got an offer for $500,000. You going better than that or no? You know,
going to agents and saying like, if I put in this offer, am I even in the competitive range, or is it a waste of time? And that happened to me all the time. And like other agents appreciated me saying like, oh, don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Or way over that. Or it kind of gave them some insight on where they needed to be. I don't know.
I don't know. I just think it's unfair that way.
Unless it's not under multiple or there's something going on with the house where, you know, where it's questionable. But if it's a great house, everything checks all the boxes, you don't really want to go through 45 offers, do you? Not if it's listed at 600,000 and most of those offers are 525 or 550 or whatever. Like nobody wants to deal with that. I say this. Offers that are 700,000, and that's who I'm going to talk to, right?
Yeah, and look, you're just wasting everybody's time. And I always love like when you tell people, okay, look, let's say you list a house at $500,000 and you already have offers up to 625. I will flat out tell people like, hey, if you're not like literally 625 is kind of the area we're in. If you could, you know, that's if you're going to write anything less than that, don't even bother. And so then I love how people go, okay, and they still send over their like list price offer. Like, why did you just waste my time?
What do they have to?
They have
they
to.
have
like,
to.
And you have to tell your sellers.
They need to send their clients that Instagram. How about no? You know, that's
But
or I even had one. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, even last year, I like went and showed a house, and by the time I got home, they had raised the price $100 grand, like from $399 to $499, because we were going to offer $100 grand over, and then they raised it, and she was like, I just had to weed out all because I had so many, and there was already offers above the $100 grand mark, and I was like, that makes sense, and we went higher than that, but we barely got it. But it was crazy.
But you appreciated that she did that,
I
right?
did. I definitely appreciated it. I was like, oh, thank God. And appreciated it for her. I was like, how many offers did you get? She was like, I was up to 47 or something. And I was like, what?
And our job is to do the best that we can for the seller. The seller doesn't want to deal with that either. They want you to help them. Like, what do
they're going to read 47 letters to the seller.
They're not going to do it. They don't even read their terms of service when they're signing up for apps. They're not going to read any of these contracts. They want the answers. What is the answer? What looks the best to you is what I get, right? And then explain why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a letter. It was like literally, it was a family and the baby had, it wasn't a terminal illness, but it was a pretty like rough situation. It's like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like,
Yeah.
you can tell these people no, that you don't want to sell them your house. Good. That's on you. That's not on me.
Yeah.
That's on, I just say
I'm just the messenger.
Just the messenger. Hey, you're the one that denied this kid a house. That's on you.
Yeah. Now you have to live with it.
No, if you loved your kid a little bit more, maybe you would have offered more money. I'm joking.
Right?
Please do not clip that.
That's terrible. Oh my gosh. On that note, Kevin, did you give us your area yet?
No,
No, I didn't. I was holding out. I like these stories. It's Taylor, Texas, and not because there's anything specifically like right now today that you can go do and buy, but they just did announce the annexation. Not just that the plant came, the Samsung plant came, that they annexed that entire 1,400 acre facility that limits, and that was part of the deal so that they could actually receive the tax revenue from that development. So what is going to happen is, if you've been out there and you know how much flat land there is, how easy it is to run utilities through flat land, which we've seen on the growth belt all over, everywhere from Leander to all the way down to Kyle, that whole area, anything that's relatively flat and easy to access with utilities, it's easy to throw houses up. And so I think if I were to say, long term, where I would be looking, and I'm not saying getting in now is obviously the best deal. What's happening probably right now, you still could definitely get in there if you're investing. But just keeping your eye on it, I think it's going to grow into a nice, commutable, hopefully affordable little area, little place of its own that it can kind of develop its own culture. I was down there not too long ago. It was like maybe 2 months ago. And I haven't been there in a long time. And the last time I was there was through a different lens. So I came through and it was like right on the corner, there was this really cute, like square almost. It's just a corner in the city downtown. And there's like a super cool coffee shop on the corner. There's a nice barbecue place, bar, people hanging out on the street. And it was very pleasant.
4th Street in Taylor, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was very pleasant. It was the kind of thing where you just felt like, oh man, I can go sit here, and it just would be just a nice, relaxing place to enjoy a day and enjoy some time. So
the thing about that is, I love your area pick, but right now that's every day. Like you find this, you're like, oh, that's cute because you visited and you haven't been there in 3 years, or a little while. But like if that's all there is every day.
No, but I'm saying like with what they have available to them to now be like, you have the grounds of like, you're a small town with a small town feel with wide open spaces to develop. You're a literal straight shot into the fastest growing, coolest tech forward city in the country, in the world, probably, but definitely in our country. You can literally just create the environment and the city that you want to have there with new experiences. That's this mix of what everybody wants, which is a little nostalgia and a little forward thinking, affordable housing, but maybe something that's not the same floor plan that KB and everybody else have been shooting out for the last 20 years. I just feel really, really bullish that area is going to be a great investment and a really cool place to live long term. And it doesn't take that long to get out there.
I think the difficulty comes from people who want that feel are generally not the people that want the progression. Not the same.
I don't know that I agree with that totally.
Okay.
I feel like that the previous generations, it was one or the other. Like there was a huge dichotomy between nostalgia and progression. But I mean, I'm part of, I'm in the eldest year millennial folks, and I know you guys are in the same age bracket range. So what I've seen a lot in trends, and not just in real estate, but in design, cars are going through the same thing right now. Like the next wave of cars, I believe, are going to be like electric cars that look like they came out of the 1960s and 70s. That's a lot
Oh
of the
yeah,
design language I'm seeing.
electric DeLorean. I call it. I'm
Yeah.
dibs.
Yeah.
Those will probably
It
come out
happened.
before I get my Bronco.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the new one. Yeah, not the
Yeah, I
not the
ordered
new
it.
one, the retro one, right?
Oh.
Because they have a retro version of it.
Oh, I
Not the
didn't
electric.
order an electric one. I just ordered a regular, well, it has all the bells and whistles, let's be real, Bronco, like over a year ago. And I'm just like, when's it going to be built?
When is it going to come? When is it coming?
I don't know. They have no
They
idea.
still haven't told you?
Nope.
Wow.
I have a real horse, just not my fake one.
There's a good question up here I wanted to answer.
A bunch of good questions.
Yeah, this one was a good one right here. How much of a pain is it right now for out-of-state buyers doing remote? I could tell you I'd say the one thing I tell you, if you're going to work with an agent, work with somebody you really, really trust and listen to, because when you're walking through, because we do a lot of, video tours and we're really honest with our clients. We don't just walk in and go, all right, yeah, this is the best house right, an offer. But if you got to really hope that or work with an agent that really is honest with you when you're doing those walks and telling you what's really in the home. And I think you have a really good experience. And then really listen when you're writing offers, because we're trying our best. I mean, Kevin's even said this, trying our best. Some agents aren't giving us all the info we need as a buyer's agent to write that offer. But at the same time, it's doable. But go ahead, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at him.
I'm taking
Anybody
pictures.
Anybody else got a response for this? I got to get him.
For the Grammity-gram. For the Grammity-gram.
What do you think? Anybody else want to add to this?
I do want to add something not relative to Taylor though. I was looking at some other.
No, to the out of state thing. I would say, Jeremy, I agree with you, man. Like I don't think it's a pain. I think it's just a different process, right? Because
exactly, yeah.
You have to be able to. I mean, little things like if I'm holding a cell phone. This is weird stuff, right? Like I could be holding a cell phone, and when you're doing video, holding it horizontal. Holding it horizontal versus holding it vertical versus having a wide angle camera. Like all of those things, people don't know, but it actually matters when you're showing people houses. Like, man, that room does look big, doesn't it? Well, then how do you help people understand that perspective, right? You got to get the camera up
and
behind
just
you.
the pictures on
Pictures don't do
online. They are either they don't give enough justice or they give too much justice. And so you always need to go, and you do need to trust the realtor that you're with. I agree with Jeremy too, but show the street view and go and drive around with them on FaceTime and show them how you get into the neighborhood and different stuff. So it makes a total big difference.
Yeah, the street view. I mean, that's a lot of times that's a year or two old, right? You just stand. So normally I'll stand outside of the house and I'll spin around and say, okay. Just so they can see the street, at least the street, right? Because I'm not allowed to say what I think about the street. That's important for you guys to know. We realtors aren't allowed to say that. It's called steering. And we're not allowed to say, oh yeah, I wouldn't move into this neighborhood because the grass.
I did have I had a client last year that was moving here from Washington, and we put in 17 offers before he finally got chosen. It was crazy. But it got to the point because I couldn't say certain stuff. And so he was like, would you let your mom live there? Some places I'm like, sure, yeah, all the time. And some places I'm like, no, I wouldn't. But
one of them there was a particular neighborhood, and I would say if I was driving through at 9:00 in the evening, I've seen, let's say elderly women walking their puppies down the street.
Yeah.
So that gives you an idea of what the neighborhood's like.
Yeah. Oh,
in your mind, whatever that means to you.
Yeah.
It means one thing to me, but I don't know what it means to you.
Yeah. I know it's you might let your mom live there, but I'm not going to let my mom live there.
It depends on how much do you love your mom is the question.
She's an OG for sure.
Yeah.
This is a good one. I wouldn't buy a car without looking at it or driving it. Why would I buy a house without seeing it, the area?
I mean, tell that to Carvana.
I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I bought cars that I've never looked at or driven. And I bought houses that I've never looked at.
Yeah.
I have two. I bought 2 houses I didn't see.
Don't necessarily need to.
Yeah.
I've never seen
Everybody's
my Bronco,
different.
and I might not ever own it, but I'm gonna buy it.
I think some of it is based on your criteria. If you have a budget of $400,000 today, and you need a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 30 minutes from Austin, you're gonna get what you get. I mean, that's the reality of it, right? Like, obviously, if it has 4 walls and maybe needs a little paint, but like, you don't have as many choices as you did in a less aggressive market.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a hard truth.
Yeah.
It's a difficult truth.
I feel like you can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Well, you find out real quick if they can't handle the truth. Fired. You are. I've actually never been fired directly. That's interesting.
Oh, I have.
Have you?
Yeah, you can tell your story.
Part of my story.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Yeah.
Could anyone comment on High Point? I'll say High Point's.
That's in Dripping Springs, right?
Yeah, I'd say High Point and Calaterra are my 2 favorite neighborhoods in Dripping.
I like High Point too. I actually almost put in an offer on a house over there.
For you or a client?
Right around Christmas. For a client. Yeah, not me. But
yeah.
It is a nice neighborhood. It's gated. It's
tax
built
rates
out.
come down. It's like 2.6 now. So that's good. It's crazy. We just closed 3 homes on one street because there were so many new builds that, like, back in June of last year and June of 2020, we had clients come in like every single week. Like, we want to be in Dripping Springs in this area. And it took all the way from June till closing, like late December was the last one. It's crazy. Such a long time.
Yeah, it is crazy because I was telling the family that I'm looking in Dripping Springs for, I told them that the tax rate had gone down to 2.6, and they were like, "That's just so high." And I was just like, "But it's really not. It's like that's a normal tax rate for pretty much a lot of places. There are some other neighborhoods in Dripping Springs that are like 1.8 or something, but."
Jeremy, and then if anybody else knows this, so Calaterra, just because you had mentioned it, I've only been out there once or twice. So this comment says, is dense, small lots. Is that one of those neighborhoods where you can have larger lots if you pay more money?
Yeah, in the back section, there's a lot of really nice.
A lot of builds are like that, right? A lot of phased master plan communities are like that, where, oh, well, you can get in the gated section, but it's got to be in your budget.
Yeah.
You can make it happen.
But closer to what road is that? 12? Closer to 12?
Yeah. It's on 12.
They are very small lots, but as you go further back, but they do have like high HOA fees, right? Like really high. I can't remember.
High Point's not that bad, but it is.
No, not High Point.
High is relative, right?
Calaterra.
That's our.
High is relative. So are you saying like $100?
No, Calaterra, I think it was something crazy, but I can't remember what it was. I don't remember what High Point was either off the top of my head. I'll have to look.
Yeah, there's a lot of good comments in here. Amber says, hey. Let's see. I can't even read this comment. Can I? Which will the first city to run out of water and prevent new builds? I think it's already Dripping Springs. I've never heard of what is deferred exchange? Tax
deferred exchange. 1031.
It's like a 1031
exchange.
Yeah. Oh,
1031. Oh, okay.
And Aaron was telling me about this today. There's another type of tax deferred exchange. If you don't have a specific property, you can roll it into it's like an investment fund, like a REIT.
Oh,
that's cool.
Well, that's a new thing. I can't remember the name. I need to remind her. If anybody has questions about that, I'll ask her about it.
Here's a good one. Belterra, High Point, and Parton. I like Belterra. I love High Point. Parton, I really, really like the idea of Parton. The neighborhood's nice. I know a lot of people that live in Parton. The challenge for me is it's see-through fencing pretty much throughout the whole. And
like
the tax rate's high, but it'll come down.
Like that neighborhood that shall not be mentioned on this channel.
Treviso. Yeah, that one.
You closed on one in Parton, right? Or you almost did, Jeremy?
Yeah, I've almost closed on one in High Point and one in Parton.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see, man. There's good ones in here. I know our panelists' the views feel about. Oh, yeah, there we go, Treviso and Leander. But is there a great little community just a mile away called Trento? That is great. I'm looking at Trento. I don't know much about it. Speaking of, so my area and where I think the development is going to be some of the craziest is actually Leander. I wanted to say Liberty Hill because, fun fact, Liberty Hill was ranked number 38 out of 500. Not Liberty Hill. Santa Rita Ranch neighborhood, and Buda, Sunfield with a 2 like in Central Texas. The most sales in a year. What's crazy about that is both of them are like 15% decrease from the year before, which is crazy. So like they had like
decrease in volume.
Six. Well, yeah, they sold less units, but we were still in the top because there was nothing for them to sell, which is crazy. Because I mean, Sunfield, I have mixed feelings about Sunfield now, but I like Sunfield, the location of Sunfield. I don't like the taxes. The only thing I don't like.
Yeah,
but
I don't like.
But
the
I think,
either.
Yeah.
But people will pay it for their lazy river.
So you have Grand Mesa, the river. I'm looking at Leander for 2022. So let's jump in. Jamie maybe felt me. I don't think he could drive all the way up to Leander. Me? Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah. I do a lot of business in Leander, so it's all good. But yeah, it's a drive. I would rather do stuff in Dripping Springs all day, Bee Cave. I'll drive to Leander. But.
You know what Leander sounds like to me? It sounds like a made-up word that's somewhere between a saunter and a meander.
Yeah.
Like you're doing it with kind of a lean to it. You're doing kind of like a leander, right? Kind of dragging your foot, walking kind of on one side heavy that you're leandering.
Yeah, that's funny.
Nobody.
This is a good one because I put out a video this week. We Ken Renner and myself are amigos. I don't know who that is. Okay. So I did a video talking about the regrets of Austin. I put that out on Tuesday. So far, a lot of people have watched it. We referenced Tim Dillon a little bit and some of the things that Tim Dillon said about Austin. But if somebody's moving from SoCal like this, and they're, I would say depending on where you're moving, do you think that somebody moving from Southern California might regret moving to Austin? They want Cali weather, though.
I do have one client going through that conundrum right now. They bought a house here. They've owned it for 6 months. They've been back and forth. They just finished a 1-week trip here, and they're having a hard time with the charm of Southern California, the weather and everything, and the lifestyle here being quite a bit slower is how they put it. Mm-hmm. So they're really struggling with that right now. Like that's a bad decision. I mean, oh God, should I live in Austin or Southern California? Oh my God.
Yeah, well, I've helped a few families move here just because we don't have state income tax, but then we have property taxes, and they're like, whoa, because they're spending a lot coming from California. They could sell a shack there for like $600,000 and come here, and our property taxes are just crazy. But I always ask, I'm just like, do you want to leave that weather? Like, are you sure? And yeah, one of them's like, I don't know.
Jeremy, you're muted.
So sorry, I'm chewing gum and I didn't want to be all on the thing, but $500K budget, 25 minutes from downtown. Where are you looking? I know what Amanda's going to say, but what do you guys think? $500K, 25 minutes in downtown? Where would you go?
25 minutes
Bermuda.
at what time of the day? That's going to be my question. Otherwise, go ahead.
I'd get an absolute beater in 78745.
Yep. Okay. So South Austin. I would say the Menchaca area. So that South Austin area, like 1626, that South area. There's what Cascades has new builds in there. There's a couple of the new builds. I'd go there.
Hills of Bear Creek, I think, is going to start a new phase, and that's Milestone,
really?
I think. And they're going to be like, their tax rate is so freaking low.
Yeah, 1.8. That's why I like
Menchaca
area or Manchac, whatever you want to call it, because it's like 1.8, 1.79.
I was like, are you from here?
Did you say Hills of Bear Creek, Amanda?
What?
Hills of Bear Creek?
Yeah, the Hills of Bear Creek.
And what is with you? I'm assuming that one's south because there's another Berry Creek in Georgetown that I probably would say that. And the reason why, here's why. It starts right where 130 starts. And so you can hop on that and go straight down and bypass all the traffic.
Yeah.
And nobody knows that, right?
Hills of Bear Creek is like right on the edge of, it's like where you would turn onto Brody off of 1626 or go straight and you can go into Manchac or go straight and go to 35.
And that gas station has milkshakes, by the way.
Does it?
Yeah.
The beer geeks or whatever it is.
It has a for real machine in there. Those aren't everywhere.
Nice.
I'm always a big fan of Hay City Store.
Oh, me too. That's half a mile from me right now.
I go there all the time. I'm surprised
might be down there.
I'm
really? Surprised. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with my fence. That dang horse is giving me a heart attack today.
Poor Henry.
Yeah, I know. Poor Henry. Lord.
Yeah, 1626 by Salt Lake is a very beautiful driftwood area.
Yeah.
No, it's not Nicorette.
It's got good topography over there too. Yeah, a lot of hills.
That's why I like that area.
Did you see that big vineyard thing that I posted today? They're putting a vineyard
hotel.
Like vineyard hotel resort, a vineyard resort. Yeah. And I was like, well, those two things in the same sentence are like calling my name. So let's go.
There's only going to be 22
rooms. One day, go.
There's only going to be 22 rooms, though. Did you see that?
Yeah, 22 rooms. I was like, that's not much.
I think it's going to be very expensive.
They can just charge quadruple. It's great.
The guy that owns it is the guy from, it's one of the Black brothers, right? The barbecue folks.
The Terry Black.
And he was very clear. He in no uncertain terms basically said, we can build whatever we want. We believe that there's a market for it. So I'm sure they'll charge like $2,000 a night or $1,500 a night or something like that for it. I'm sure.
Yeah. If you got brisket, wine, decent spot, and not too crowded.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have like some huge underground wine cellar, but they're handing over the winemaking to whoever does the Salt Lake wine or something. I don't know. Nice. I'll have to read again.
Very nice.
I was probably drinking wine while I was reading it. What?
I said, am I having a nice hair day?
Oh.
You are having a nice hair day.
Yeah, thank you. I got a haircut the other day.
You're having a great microphone day, too.
You know what it is? I should just start putting the microphone closer to my face.
You should.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm talking down at it. I need to be talking into it. So we'll get it figured out.
It looks like a NutriBullet from my...
It is a NutriBullet.
Yeah, I'm having milkshakes over here.
You hold it out and just stuck a cord in it.
Yeah. Okay. John moved here from Seattle last year, and we don't regret it. Love being Austin. Offers a lot of things. The only problem is you don't have snow or mountains close by. Yeah.
Wait, you missed the rain and snow? Did I hear that right? Did I read that right?
It rains a lot here.
Gosh. Here? No, it
Were
doesn't.
you here in February last year?
Me?
No.
Oh yeah.
Were you here in February? There was snow.
I'll give you evergreen trees, but
am I wrong? Is the stat correct that Seattle only sees sun 65 days a year?
And Austin gets sun the other?
Yeah. Right. Is that right? Is that number right? Seem right? 300 days of clouds a year in Seattle.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
I would die.
I would be so depressed personally. I mean, everybody's different though, right? Like if you stay inside a lot, then it may not matter as much, right?
Oh, I was wrong.
So if you travel all the time.
It's 226 days a year cloudy in Seattle.
That's
a lot.
I grew up in Central California, and it sucks because it's like in a bathtub, right? So 3 months of the year, it's like foggy all day, or pretty much. Once the fog lifts, you still can't see the sun, and then it's super, super hot the other like 5 months, and then kind of neutral for a few. But I could not imagine going back to that. I mean, I just love that in Austin and our area. Yeah, we get a few days where it's nasty, gloomy, but then it's like earlier this week, it was like 30 degrees, kind of ugly out. The next day it's 30 degrees and gorgeous out, and the next day it's 55. It's like crazy how our weather works.
Well, Chicago, you would step outside in the middle of August and you would choke on the humidity. You're like, oh my God, you couldn't handle it. We don't have that here unless it's like a rainy day. So it's nice. I mean, the weather, it gets a little chilly sometimes, but overall, I think it's pretty temperate. It can get a little warm.
It gets pretty humid in the summer, but I like, even I have some friends in Houston. Whenever we go visit them, I'm just like, it's like a hell of a lot more humid here.
That's a different, like when you say it's humid, like it might be more humid than some places, but it's not that. It's more humid than Arizona, but Houston, that's another layer on the cake. It's gross.
It's like, you're breathing in a fishbowl or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron, what do you want to know about rates? We did rates all last week. And you were here.
They're going up.
Yeah. I wonder what they are today.
Well,
I haven't looked.
Yeah.
I don't even know what happened in the stock market today. We've been in an event all day today. So interesting. Morning. So I think like
Powell's supposed to do a presentation on rates like next week or something.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're just going to go up, and then I think
right. But
are they
going to go up 4 times this year, or are they going to go up once and then hold?
What do y'all think that's going to do? What do y'all think that's going to do to the like house prices and everything? Just because, like, I've heard so many people say, "Oh, it's going to cause a recession," and I don't think so. Just because everything else that's happening here, but
we all answered last week. What do you think it's going to do?
Yeah, exactly. Welcome
what
back.
do you think it's going to do? I don't know. I still think that there's people moving here from different states that have a lot more money than we do. And I think it's still going to continue to go up. But that's just me. Just people that are from here, it might cause a problem for them, or first-time home buyers, or anybody doing like different kinds of FHA or VA loans or whatever. It's going to be hard for them.
I think if you live in like Kansas, it's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should have a rule. You have to live X amount of years here and your taxes reduce. Pay 10 years of taxes, and then your taxes get to go down.
You think they should?
How many pieces of gum are you going to eat?
I'm sorry, I'm starving.
He's getting ready.
I'm starving. Sorry.
Go eat. I'll take it from here.
We're leaving.
We're about to, we're eating right now. All right, well, that's it. We're doing an hour today. I apologize for not doing longer. Amanda, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you. Guys, we'll see you next week.
I'll see you in 3 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. I'll see you.